Welcome to Inspire and Move, the show that inspires you to create, connect, and grow. I'm going to bring you meaningful conversations, aha moments, and all the motivation you need to up-level every part of your life. I'm Ali Aruda, founder of Inspire and Move, and your personal hype girl. I've gone from fashion school to celebrity stylist to corporate marketing to brick-and-mortar entrepreneurship with my husband, each time learning incredible lessons how to pivot, reimagine, and implement the steps to become successful. I'm passionate about inspiring others to live their best life, a life of joy. We have the power to design a life that we love, because life is too short not to. The best part is that you weren't meant to do this alone. If you feel like you are meant for more, let me ride shotgun with you, and together, let's get you to where you want to go. Hey everyone, it's your girl Ali Aruda, and we are back for a nice little solo episode here on the Inspire and Move podcast, which means it's just me and you, and I've got something that I want to dig into that I think is going to feel really simple, maybe even obvious, but I promise you that a lot of people are actually not doing it. So grab your coffee or hit the treadmill, lace up your shoes, whatever you have got going on right now, and let's get into it. So I recently posted a reel that I've actually been trying to explore the consistency of getting on trial reels, and then I will shift it over to my main page so that everyone can see it. But that is not the point of this episode. I just wanted to share that quick little tip and trick that I am trying right now. So this trial reel turned regular feed reel is something that I went on and I just yapped. I was inspired after one of our Mentor Collective mastermind calls, and I wanted to hop on and really get into that discipline of doing more yapping content because that shit is hot right now. So I posted this reel. It was like a minute and a half. It was short. And the message was basically this. If you want to grow your business, get more clients, get more sales, sell more spots in your events, in your next launch, get into the DMs. Voice note people, share videos to people. And I'm not saying like, I'm going to share this funny meme. Actually send them a connection video. We have actually, fun fact, we've tried this at Benchmark in the past with some personal training client prospects, and they just felt a different sense of connection. So it could work. You know, it could also land flat. You could also get ghosted and no one could reply. That is anything. That is a written text message, a written DM, a voice note, a video, but it does not hurt you to try. And we've talked about it before here on the podcast, in my content, about putting in the reps. And this is what I have more to say about this, and like the whole idea of like getting into your DMs and really connecting with people. Because that is also, if we're talking in the world of Instagram, it is a social platform. And adjacent note here that we do not own it. So you do want to take some of these conversations that you are having into the DMs and take them to text or email, get them into your email list. Gosh, my friend Melissa would be like, get them into your funnel. But I just want to share this with you in a way to help you propel forward and not look at this as something that could hold you back, but to really dive into the momentum that you could experience from this little practice. So we spend so much time on our content, right? I mean, some of it could be really dialed in that you've spent hours creating the perfect carousel in Canva, or maybe you hire a videographer. I have a videographer on retainer. I work with social media creators and managers and concierges, but I also create a lot of my own content. And we spend so much time and energy on the content, the hook, the caption, the aesthetic, the reel transitions, the carousel layout, the fonts we choose, what time we post, all of that. We're agonizing over our content, especially in this day and age. If you want to grow, we need to be posting multiple times per day and wondering, how the algorithm is doing and who is it showing your content to and how are the views doing, how are the saves and shares. I am so guilty of this. I am so attached to this because I am absolutely in a season of growth. But with all of this happening, meanwhile, we are completely ignoring the people that are already right there. People that are watching our stories, liking our posts, commenting. They are in our world. They might even be in those, first 15 front row seats of the insert your name show. They're paying attention. And yet we're not connecting with them. We're not starting a conversation with them. We're just not connecting with them. So this is somehow, some way, we've convinced ourselves that reaching out feels so direct and it feels pushy, feels salesy. And don't get me wrong, It absolutely could be. You have to know yourself. Know thyself. What is your style? Like if it's, you're sliding into someone's DM, is it weird or is it desperado? No, perhaps yes, whatever approach you take, maybe there's some that could be harsher than others, but you want to make sure you're doing it in a space that feels authentic to you and in alignment with what your messaging is, how you communicate with people in real life, and just take that and do it online. Because as I said, social media is social, or pardon me, I was saying Instagram is a social app, but it's categorized, social media, literally social media built for connection. And somewhere along the way, we turned it into a more of a broadcasting platform and data analytics, and forgetting that the magic is actually in the conversation. And so this is where I want to reframe and how I want to offer this to you. That the DM is not necessarily a pitch. I would not come out of the gate and be like, "Hi, here's my insert business. Here's my price deck or whatever it is that you do." Again, insert your business or your product. The DM is a door. And that's how we enter rooms. We go through a door and then we have the conversations that the people are in that room. So you're not necessarily just want to slide in and directly start selling. You want to start a conversation. And this is when I love using the art of a voice note, because depending on how you text, man, there are people that I text with and I immediately think that they're mad at me and that we're in a fight. And I was like, wait, how did we get here? And then there are others that would not be a concern at all. But when you have a DM, you can hear someone's voice. You can literally feel their energy. And if you voice note them saying, I was thinking about you, I wanted to reach out, that's a wonderful way to start. Just start the conversation, because that's the cheat code, if you will. Like, I would feel like I will just die on that hill talking about how voice notes are so much better than a text. And I also feel like they're so much more efficient because you can just share your thought. I would probably encourage you to keep it around a minute, minute and a half. Do not do north of 3 minutes. That's just too much, especially if you don't have a warm connection with the person. My best friend and I, sometimes, yes, we go 6 minutes, but we live in two very different countries on the opposite sides of the world, and this is what we have to do. And so we prepare ourselves accordingly. But if you're doing more of an Instagram DM connection voice note, I would absolutely love to encourage you to do that, like a 1 minute, a minute 30 seconds. And the thing about voice notes is that it's warm. It's human. It sounds like you. There is no no inkling of you using Claude to help write this DM that you're going to send to this person, because they can hear your voice. They can hear your energy, your laugh, the tone that maybe you're high pitched in some parts and not low pitched, but you just have that vocal energy and your personality. And it is the closest thing when you're doing this DM interaction. It's the closest thing to an in-person conversation that you can have in a digital space, other than if you wanted to send them a video note. I was going to say video voice note. That's kind of the same, I guess. But you could either send them that video connection piece that you record, and I would personalize it so that, again, they don't feel like they're just getting like a copy and paste video, like hey, you, I was so grateful for your recent engagement on my post, or, whatever message you want to share. If you actually say, oh my gosh, Allie, thank you so much for engaging in this. I see you. I was thinking about you. I'd love to connect. Being able to have that personal connection. And same thing with the voice note, having that personalized greeting, because there are so many tools out there that would allow us to record a voice note and send it to your list. If you use something like ManyChat, you can hit multiple people through that automation. So being able to include that personalization is key, in my opinion. And it just, cuts through a message that you just type, and you probably even keep it as a saved note in your iPhone notes that you can resend. I am really sitting on this hill about wanting to encourage you to do voice notes, because people remember how you sound and they remember how you make them feel. Whether it's a voice note or an in-person experience, people remember how you make them feel. And that is what builds the kind of trust that eventually turns into a yes. I want to say that again, that being able to create trust. So in this case, it's, through your connection with your voice notes or your videos, being able to have that warm connection and making people feel great, that will allow them to trust you. And taking that trust will go further down your path and turn that into a yes. So let's just get a bit more practical here. And I don't want this just to be like a feel good episode. I actually want you to have something to take action on and do something about because we're action takers here. So, first things first, who are you reaching out to? Why don't you, even if you need to hit pause on this episode so that you're doing this here and now, I want you to think about your warm audience and make a list of who it is that you want to reach out to. And again, guys, don't feel like these are cold leads because these people are already in your orbit. They've watched your stories probably this week. Maybe they've commented on your last post or maybe they shared it with a friend. But it's not necessarily about going, deep into the depths of your followers. It's who you can check in that is warm to you. Start there. Always start there. Warm market, start there. Step 2. Second, what do you say? Don't freeze. I was literally talking through this actually with one of my coaching clients about an opportunity. And I've loved coaching on just the whole idea of like, no, do like a warm voice note so this person can feel your voice, feel your energy, and feel that connection that will more likely lead to a yes for what you are pitching. So I'm going to make it simple for you. You are not opening with a pitch. Hear me? Capiche? Don't open with a pitch. You are opening with a genuine human connection moment. Perhaps it's a compliment on something that they posted. I actually just sent a voice note to someone before I recorded this episode, and I complimented a story that I saw of hers that she recently got her hair done, and it just looked really great. A blonde refresh, looked fantastic. That's how I actually started my voice note. Or maybe it's you ask a question about something that they shared. Perhaps it was a dog running leash or something like that, or lobster bandanas if you were on a trip to Maine with your dogs. Relatable content for me. Side note. But just having that warm moment where you're like, hey, I've been thinking about you. How's that going? How are things? Or maybe they just recently moved. Do a little research, especially if it's someone that maybe you don't follow and actively see their content. I would do at least a 9 photo reel, a 9 piece of content, do a little refresh to get a little more familiar about them, and then be able to make that connection. Now, if you already follow and engage in them, gosh, even better. But if you don't, but they are super engaged in your content, I would encourage you to do a little research. Take like 10, 15 minutes so that you just have a different energy before you send them that voice note. And again, you're not selling anything in message 1. You are just opening the door. Think about like you're opening the door to the party. And then you're going to step in and make this great high energy entrance. And then you'll start mingling and networking in the party. Does that analogy work? How does that feel? Step 3, the voice note formula. I already touched on this, but let's keep it under 90 seconds. Let's keep it under 60 seconds. Say their name, be personal. It's something, and I feel like I talked about this actually again recently on an episode where I remember back in my corporate years of living and working downtown Toronto, I remember when I went to my regular Starbucks and the moment when they finally called me by my name, I felt like $1,000,000. I felt so valued and appreciated. I'd been going there every day. I spent a lot of money there. And when they finally said, "Good morning, Allie," it made me feel so great that I have remembered this for almost 20 years. 15 to 20. Maybe I'm just making myself a little older than necessary, but it is huge. And I love that I've shared this probably at least 3 times on my own podcast. I'm sharing it here again. So this is just a reminder to say their name. People love that connection piece. They love hearing their name. And then be specific about why you're reaching out. Again, maybe it's you're complimenting them with a dog running leash or a vacation they were just on, about a resort that they stayed at, because you don't want it to be generic and just that copy and paste feel. Again, people can smell that. They know if it is generic. People are getting really smart with AI. Again, you're not going to be sending AI generated messages because you, my friend, are going to be sending voice notes and video messages, and just talk to them as if you were talking to one of your best friends. Don't overthink it. Don't script it out. Just press record, be a normal high vibe human, and hit send. Worst case, you re-record, but I am going to challenge you, my friends. I'm going to challenge you to do it as a one-take wonder. And then consistency. I love consistency. This is the piece that actually moves the needle. So let's get down to business here. We've got our, first, second, third steps of action, but now the secret sauce is the consistency. So how do you feel if I challenged you to sending 5 DMs a day for 5 days? How does that feel? If you do that, can you tag me on Instagram? I actually would love to know, and I would love to cheer you on because I love anything that comes to consistency. So just 5 little touch points every single day. Let's start for 5 days. And then maybe you turn that into 10 days and then 15. And then before you know it, you're going to be at 30 days. And that is going to be freaking great. Because if your business does not look different after that, I mean, I'm going to dare you to do it. And I feel really confident. I feel really good about your business growing because of you taking that consistent action. So if just, again, one more thing, if getting here into a different part about if reaching out feels icky to you at all, don't let it. Let it pass through. The idea of sending a voice note should bring you joy. And I think you also need to have a little quick check-in on, do you believe in what you do? Do you believe in what you offer? Because if you don't, then that will probably come through in whatever message that you send. And it'll come through in your content. So if that's the case, well, then we need to back up and we need to do some different work. But if you genuinely, deeply believe that you can be of service and help someone with your product, your offer, your service, that you can do something for them, it is legit an act of service. And you're doing it with kindness and connection. And again, in the world of AI that is ever changing every single day, people are craving more human connection. So this is your time to take action. This is your time to connect with people and send these DMs. You are not bothering them. You are bringing something to them. You are going to be of service. You're going to deliver it with love and authenticity and energy, because maybe there is an energetic disconnect. If you think this feels salesy, then there might be somewhere underneath this in a different little layer that there's a disconnect between what you're selling and your belief if it actually works. So again, if that is how you feel, then put a pin in these action steps and deal with that first. But if you are big believer energy, big confident energy in what you do and how you can help people and how you can be of service, then let's dive into this homework. Let's get to those action steps. Let's practice that consistency. Not tomorrow, not next week. Especially if you are listening to this in the morning, I want you to send at least 1 voice note today. Maybe even 3. I'm an achiever. Let's do 3. If you are listening to this today, I want you to connect with at least 3 people. Hey, if you want, send me a voice note. I would love to hear you practice. We legit talk about this in the Mentor Collective Mastermind. Depending on what people need to practice for their businesses, we encourage them to practice with each other, because the only way we're going to get better is taking consistent action and putting in the reps. So send me a voice note, send me a DM. I would love to listen. I would love to cheer you on. You can also send me a video. I would love a video message. And I can encourage you. I can cheer you on. I can hype you. And if you really need greater support in growing your business, well, then let's chat. Let's chat separately, because there are 2 ways to work with me. We can work together one-on-one. I currently have 2 coaching spots left, and we can work one-on-one. I can dive into your business and we can figure out the best ways for you to grow and gain more visibility and gain more revenue and growth and opportunities that you're dreaming about. Or you can join us in the Mentor Collective Mastermind. Matt and I are in there every single week, keeping you accountable, hosting you on every single call. And the community there is also freaking fantastic. So if you have questions about either option, let's chat and find what is the best fit for you. As always, you guys, I am so grateful for you listening and watching the show. So much love for all of you. So much gratitude. I hope you have an amazing day, and we will see you again soon. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. If you loved this episode, it would mean so much to me if you took a few seconds and shared this on social media, sent it to a friend, or left a 5-star review. There is power in community, and I'm so grateful to have you part of mine.